right now I am individually priming these, making sure they have good coverages. I was not going to go through, full blast with my airbrush because this is very little parts here. The other big parts is going to be the ones that I'm going to need to do that, and gotta get the spray booth, the waterfall cleaned up and get fresh water in there. Right now, I am not using my gallery. I'm using my Revolution CR. I purchased recently a very, very cheap what do you call it? Sonic cleaner. Excuse me. And I use it to clean up a bunch of my airbrushes. Actually, 2 of them, for that matter. So I cleaned up the CR Iwata, and I cleaned up the Nia, which I did a bunch of repair work on it. Right now I'm using this. This was one of my old ones, and I'm going to be using it for priming. This will be my primer airbrush. While the the Neo one, I'm going to end up using it for acrylic painting. And my gallery, which is my Premier airbrush, will be for lacquer-based painting. Okay, that came out pretty good. Don't know how well this is going. Looking good with the zoom. There we go. See? All that's done. That's one. Oh, and I didn't realize that little part right there was by itself. After recounting everything and me thinking that I dropped and lost a part, that was actually part of the inside of the canopy. So that was kind of my goof. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to continue clean. I got to clean this up a bit, and then we're going to continue priming the red parts. So give me a moment for that. Alright, I just finished priming all the blacks, all the grays. Now I'm going to prime this guy. It's a huge kit, of course. Or a huge part. This to get rid of any static, any particles that's left over me during the sanding of this part. I gotta do this on every part, of course. I'm starting here because this is where I did the most work of me cleaning up the seam line. Yeah, and that does not look good. I'm going to continue priming it, of course. And I'm going to go re-sand it down now that I see the markings. Something that you don't normally see visually on the first try. You would need something like this to show off the damage. Well, it's not damage, it's more like imperfections.
Plus I'm using 2 of the alligator clips just to support it. I don't think one will cut it, especially on how big this is. It's the same thing with this one. Unfortunately, to hold it is not very easy. I don't know if that will work. Yeah, then I have to keep. Alright. I gotta be very careful here. I also gotta bend the knee because I gotta paint the inside of that too. Right now. Pull a little bit here. See, the knee came out good, but the seam line, you can barely notice it. Back here, because I know there were nubs there were nubs here and here, and they look good. Alright. That's good. We're going to do one more. This should be a little quick. The hand, the arm, that is. This one's good because I had to work on the seam line there in the middle and here, so that came out good. Alright guys, I got a lot of priming to do with the big parts. Try to get these things done, and then we'll move on to the colors. Alright, all the parts have been primed, as you can see here. These are the reds, here and here. This is all the black, including the strip that I did. And over here is the pink and the gray. The part that I was talking about, that looks like it didn't glue well. What I did was I squeezed it again, and try to glue it one more time. I may have to resand the whole thing all over again. and then try it. If this, I mean, it closes fine. It's just I don't know why it popped out. I think maybe because I didn't put enough glue on it. I'll figure this out. See how it works. I was at one point I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should use putty. Putty should actually allow me to fill it in, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to be reviewing more parts, make sure, see what I missed, what needs to be re-cleaned up again, what needs to be sanded down again. Take my time on this. But once I get that done, what is the first color I should paint? Well, pulling up the color guide here. So, I know that this is a black strip here and here. There's the black strip that goes right in the forearm. There is a black strip that actually, well, unlike one of the pink parts, where this part has a black strip that goes right through here, the one that's open does not. So that needs to be painted. There's some detail there under this. I'm noticing different color tones. I gotta remember this. So I know I pulled out the paints here. I have the lavender, which is going to be good for the feet, the thruster backpack. So hold on. The feet, the thruster backpack, the joints. This should be good for this. The purple. I was going to do gray, but I think this purple, and maybe I should lighten it up a bit. Give it an extra drop of white so I can lighten it up. And then the pink is basically the parts that go around here, here, about, you know, the little bulb things around the legs and the head. The black, the red is pretty much all over the place that you see here. But I think what I need to paint first is the black. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, first of all, we have the back strip over here and here, and of course in the arms, like we mentioned before, the areas in there. But and of course the open parts for this. So these parts that this needs to be painted black. But once I paint those black, then I gotta mask them off, and then paint the next color over, whether it's red, whether it's the pink, whether it's the lavender. But also, and I didn't pull it out, there is deep black decals that go right around here on the knees and on the forearm. I'm not going to use the black decals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint those black, and then I'm going to bleed it out so it can do the pre-shading, and then mask them off. Mask off that, mask off this here and here. I believe there's something under here that's black. I'm not 100% sure. And then paint the red color, paint the pink color, paint the gray color, the lavender color. That's my plan of attack right there. Let me continue cleaning it up, and then we'll move on to painting. So I'm right now painting the black, which I don't have it here, unfortunately. I just dumped it all in the reservoir. To make sure there's a nice little gloss tone here.
Come on, fill up. Thank you. And get this out of the way. I've been actually thinking about changing the color of this. Maybe giving it another different tone of black, or like maybe a 2-layer tone. Like maybe a shade of gray at the end, in the middle, like a light gray. But with the red, it may not be a good idea. I want to make sure there's a nice little gloss coating on this. So spray it first, and I'll give it another pass later on. I'm actually thinking of maybe giving a little metallic coating on certain areas that I think needs it. Because it doesn't have to be completely black, it could be something else. Alright, that looks good. Let me get the other parts. I have parts like this. I rarely use black. Very difficult to paint. You gotta get that nice little sheen to it. This, I'm going to paint, I'm going to give it a nice gloss. This is the inside of the barrel for that beam weaponry. What I'm about to do is I'm going to give it the black tone, and then I'm going to paint it metallic, so at least it shows from the inside. I think that's the idea for this guy. This is from one of the antenna parts. That's good. Now, like I mentioned before, this is a black part here that's going to be part of a decal. Not to mention this little part right in the middle. So, I'm doing the pre-shading right now. Then I'm going to fill it in a minute, so that way I know it will be part of the detail when I paint the red. This is tricky. Now, I'm going to paint it a little stronger this time because I will mask this up. I'll mask this and all that. that's tricky. To do this, and then on the other arm, the legs, the body, areas that I'm going to have to detail and trim up. That's going to take a lot of work, so hopefully I can get this done in a few days. You know, I don't know when I'll get it done, but I will get it done soon. And we'll make sure that it's good. So let me continue on, and we'll move on to the next stage.